Welcome back to the Ultimate Fan Chat. Today, this is episode 8. Sorry, my apologies. Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis, and there's a little graphic for everyone so they know who he is, who both of these guys are. And in the bottom right, you're going to see Mr. Dan Park, and bottom left,
Hello?
you're going to see Mr. Peter, and I'm Chris. Peace.
Hello.
All right, so let's talk about this. You guys pumped?
Yeah,
Think,
I'm actually really keen for this fight.
Probably the
And
least excited I am, actually.
Wow, I think
Mhm.
I'm the only one that's excited for this fight.
Mm,
Am I? Am I very accurate in saying that?
I
no, no,
think
no,
so.
I'm very excited for this fight. And the reason is because I loved Anthony Pettis. When he was champ, I thought the guy was invincible. And I actually think that this is a very good fight for him. I think he matches up very well against Michael Chiesa. So, and I'm going to tell you guys why.
Why?
I was looking at Michael Chiesa. Uh-huh. You say something?
Carry on, Dan. Carry on. It's just
I was
asked
looking at
why.
Michael Chiesa, and I was looking at his fights, and I, I don't rate the guy in all honesty. And the reason why is because he's kind of one-dimensional, in the sense that what he's really good at is taking people's back and getting rear naked choke. And this is how can I say, this is how he won against Iaquinta, Miller, and Dariush. Oh, getting the back, rear naked. He's not very, very good at striking. And if you look at the skill set of Anthony Pettis, he's actually very, very good in defensively, in jiu-jitsu, in grappling. He's actually very, very good. He's very good at shaking people off his back. He's very good at defending rear naked choke. He's very good at defending submissions. And I think, like, everyone looks at Anthony Pettis' striking, which is big, but I think he had to use it, and it was shined due to and owing to his lack of wrestling. I think the guy has incredibly good jiu-jitsu. He has great grappling skills, but he's not able to really showcase it due to his deficiency in wrestling. Because if you look at, he got the championship of Benson Henderson, through an armbar, wasn't it?
Yeah, off his
Yeah,
back.
it was very
Beautiful,
sexy.
beautiful move. And he has a lot of triangle chokes, even back to his WEC days. So I think he matches up very, very well against Michael Chiesa because he has sharper strikes, better, how can I say, better defensive jiu-jitsu. And Michael Chiesa doesn't have that great defensive jiu-jitsu. Like against Kevin Lee, he was like, oh, I was going to defend the rear naked through, which we know doesn't work. So I give the win to Anthony Pettis, even though he's the underdog.
All right, I'm gonna sort of use what Dan said, but go in the opposite direction.
Oh,
Chiesa's strengths, yes, it's not his stand-up, but he does have enough competency in that field to do what he needs to do to beat Pettis, which a lot of people do, is crowd Anthony Pettis, get him against the cage, get him down, and just smother him. Um, I don't think Michael Chiesa is going to sub him. Like you're saying, Anthony Pettis has got very good defensive jiu-jitsu. He's never been subbed. He loses most of his fights by decision, and I think that's the way this one's going to go, and I think it's going to be quite boring. Yes, Anthony Pettis, he's got very good striking, but he doesn't have the hands to keep Michael Chiesa off him. He's got very flashy kicks, good kicks. Doesn't have bad hands. He's got good hands, but just it's not his strength. His strength is in his kicks. And Michael Chiesa's got that toughness, that in-your-face grit and determination to get Pettis against the cage, get him down, and I think just smother him for 3 rounds. It's not the Anthony Pettis of old. I mean, the subs are still there. The knowledge of the jiu-jitsu is still there, but I just don't think he's got that snap and that pop in him left to finish Chiesa on the feet or to finish him on the ground. I think Chiesa wins a comfortable decision in this one. The first round would be close, I think, while Pettis is still fresh. But I think going into your second, your third rounds, it's just going to be Chiesa clinching up against the cage and just dragging him to the mat and just trying to go for the finish. Obviously, he's not going to be lay and pray, but I just don't think he's going to get the finish either.
okay, fair enough.
I'm looking at Sportsbet, and Anthony Pettis is a $2.37 underdog. So if you put $1, you get $2.37 back, and that's very tempting. I'm very keen.
I just don't think I don't think he's going to be able to keep Chiesa off him. Chiesa's a bigger, stronger guy. I just can't see him keeping Chiesa off him.
1, 2, bang, kick to the body, kicks it in.
Mr. Dan,
is gonna shine.
Mr. Dan,
Mark
you keep on talking about all these betting lines. Put your money where your mouth is. If you're gonna be making this betting conversation, make a goddamn bet. Jesus. All right, I'm gonna give my opinion on this fight. All right, so pretty much I'm gonna be touching on all this like very similar points what you guys have been talking about, but like going to Anthony Pettis, one of the main things that I've noticed in like pretty much all his fights, whenever someone takes his back, they can't hold it. No one's been able to hold his back in every single one of his fights. You go back to his Charles Oliveira fight, he had his back taken like 5-6 times in that fight, yet he got out of every single one because he just has this knack for knowing exactly when to explode and spin around. He does it every single time. And back to what Dan was saying about Michael Chiesa, that's his specialty. That's what he does in in the majority of his wins. He takes the guys' backs and he chokes them. He did that against Beneil Dariush, which was just ridiculous. Which was actually the last win that he had back in 2016. I don't see him doing that to Pettis. And the only people that have been able to smother Pettis are people like Rafael dos Anjos and Eddie Alvarez. And then
Clay Guida did it as well.
Yeah, because that's the exact. Well, yeah, I'm going back to recently because we're talking about like the old, washed up version of Anthony Pettis. So only the top like wrestlers have been able to actually push him up against the cage and control him, and that's I don't see that in Michael Chiesa. He's a good jiu-jitsu guy, but he's not a good like heavy wrestler.
Guys, he's won 2 fights in 4 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't call Alvarez a top wrestler. He's not a top wrestler. He's a top brawler.
No, but he does have wrestling, and that's what he used. That's what won him the fight against Pettis. He smothered him against the cage. He clinched up. Guys, smothered him.
Anthony Pettis has won 2 fights in 4 years.
I'm not going against that. I'm not going against that. I'm just saying the guys that have beat him have been a much higher caliber than Michael Chiesa in every aspect. If you go to the Edson Barbosa loss, he lost in the striking realm. You can't compare Michael Chiesa's striking to Edson Barbosa.
Yeah.
You go to Max Holloway, the weight cut pretty much kind of beat him a little bit there.
I think he goes the same route as Alvarez and Guida for this victory.
I'm really surprised how big of an underdog he is. Like, that's a value bet right there.
I think Pettis is the underdog.
Competitive than,
that's what happens when you haven't won many fights in the last 4 years, then.
I understand why Pettis is the underdog. It does make sense. Chiesa's coming up. His last loss was via apparently a controversial submission.
Yeah, I understand why he's an underdog, but not like a big underdog, like $2.40 back. It's huge.
That's not a big underdog, Dan. Anything under $3 is okay.
Oh, come on. All right, fine. All right.
He's an underdog. He's just an underdog. He's not a big underdog. He's just an underdog.
On Michael Chiesa, if you put $1, you get $1.60 back. On Anthony Pettis, you put $1, you get $2.40 back.
Those odds are not good enough for me to make a bet.
He's that because of his name recognition. That's why. If there was someone else that wasn't Anthony Pettis, that didn't have that name value, wasn't a former champion, but they're at that level, but they'd only won 2 fights in the last 4 years, they'd be a lot more than that, Dan. He's those odds are name value. That's what it is.
Right.
That's one of the fights that I'm the most confident of on this card is Anthony Pettis losing a decision.
Well, I'm going to make my correct actual prediction here, and I'm saying Pettis wins via body kick in the second round.
I'm going Chiesa decision, unanimous decision.
Yeah, I'm going with Pettis. I'm going with Pettis. I think he wins it by TKO.
Okay, you going to pick a round, or you're just going TKO?
That's TKO, either round.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So, got anything more to say about these guys?
No.
All right. Well, to all the listeners out there, peace out.
Thank you.